Welcome to Intrigue Teaches. On this episode, we're going to be talking about a large-scale design using these gorgeous spray delphinium. These here are bred by Ball, who is a specialty breeder of some really innovative flowers. And currently, this is the only spray delphinium on the market. Well, I take that back. If you want this, you have to call your wholesaler and let them know, because these actually aren't available at your wholesaler yet. So, but Ball is working to make sure that that changes. So tell everyone you want them if you want to see them. I'm super excited to have them. These spray delphinium are called Sunshine, and they are just spectacular. Sunshine delphinium. Who knew that you could have spray delphinium this beautiful? I want all the sunshine I can get all the time. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a large showpiece. This is going to be great for card tables, for entryways, for accent areas, for the end of the ceremony, anywhere you really want a nice big statement. And I've chosen these spray delphinium because I don't want something that's so packed in. I want something that's more light and airy. Can anyone hear this echo I'm getting? Because this container is so big, it's cavernous. Well, let me show you how to fix that. So right here, this is an accent decor container that I took some white spray paint to because I want it in white. And this here is the container that comes with this vase itself, which what I like is I don't have to use a plastic loamy or something I'm gonna throw away. This is reusable every time. And it's a nice deep reservoir, which means I can put my oasis in. I don't need to tape it down or glue it down or do anything to hold it in place. It holds really well. So what I've done here is I've used one single block of oasis, and this is just your basic floral foam. And then I've used a quarter block on either side, and I did go ahead and shave down the corners just so I didn't have to compress them as I put it in. And this is nice and solid in here. It's not going anywhere. I also have a reservoir of water, just about a ½ an inch of water on the bottom. If you fill it all the way, once you start poking your stems in, it's actually going to overflow, so we don't want to do that. And then I'm just going to drop it right in, and it holds itself really, really well. The other nice part about this, it actually is two pieces. I'm not going to show you right now, but you can unscrew the bottom piece. Whenever I'm doing large pieces, I make sure it's screwed together before I put the piece together, even when I'm transporting. When I'm transporting this, all I'm going to do is take the whole piece and I'm going to rest it in a milk crate, and that holds it nice and stable. So the reason I don't try to screw on the bottom when the design is done is because it's so heavy that's really tough to get the angle right. So always make sure that piece is put together before you start designing, even though it is trickier for delivery. All right, well, let's get started with these gorgeous blue trick. So what will happen when you get these in, of course, you're going to process them as normal. They hold up really, really well. They do need a great water source to make sure they're always full of water. And when I'm designing with them, I like to lay them out. We practiced a little bit and got to know this flower before we started. So the reason I like to lay them out is, as you can see, they do hang on to each other. It's like they're all friends and they just want to stay together. So I find that laying them out helps me so that I can just grab and go as I'm designing, and I'm not held back. In fact, my friend Jordan, our communications director, which you may have met on the big flower fight, I'm going to have her come over in a bit and start working these out and laying them on the table so that I can continue with the design process. Jordan, do you want to come over and give me a hand?
I would love to. All right, what am I doing?
Okay.
Oh, I'm just separating.
Are you ready? Yeah, all you have to do is so easy. It's always nice to have another set of hands. So you see how I've started to lay these out? This is really helpful to make sure that the flowers don't stick together. So all you're gonna do is lay them down, and I actually have laid them in 2 tiers. So I'll have one here, and then I'll have one about here.
Great.
And then I'm just gonna come in behind, and I'm gonna start designing.
I can do this.
Awesome. All right, now that I've got a little bit of help, so I'm gonna jump right into design. And I'm gonna do this as it's very similar to how I do my large scale tall centerpieces, where I design over once, creating an arch or a mohawk, and then I'll come in and I'll do it the other direction. And with this, it's going to be airy and fluffy, so I want to make sure that I maintain that visual impact and not clump all the flowers too close together. I am going to keep my length, so I'm just going to cut this below the first knuckle here. And I want to keep as much length as I can. Oh my gosh, just one stem is in here and I'm thrilled. Literally tickled with one stem. And I love that the spray, it just kind of naturally goes in its own direction. So you see, I'm not clumping these together too much. I'm giving them enough room to breathe. And I'm going to do some in and out. So if there is, once I'm done, if I do see any spaces inside, all I'm going to do is tuck some moss into that. You could go ahead and put moss in this beforehand if it's easier for you. I tend to not, I don't like to waste, so I'll tend to put the moss in afterwards. You see we're going right for this mohawk right now. Oh, look at this one. So cool. I'm starting to go over, again, keeping that space. Jordan, look at this one you just gave me. Is that not incredible? I love, can we save it for something else? Oh no, I'm gonna use it. Ugh, sometimes I'm afraid, well, that's kind of a lopsided mohawk right there. Not sure what I was doing. All right, so because I'm lopsided on this mohawk, you wanna take a look at the lopsidedness? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna add another layer in here because I do wanna make sure that although I want the airiness, I still have a level of fullness within that airiness, if that makes any sense. Those two statements contradict each other. So this next piece, I'm actually going to go in a little bit deeper. And the reason I'm going to go in deeper is because I don't want to just look at this piece and see all stems. I want to look and I want to see layers of blossoms. Oh my gosh, these are so good. It's really exciting to work with a new product on the market. I had no idea until Ball sent these to me that this was even an option. It's almost like something you would see at like your local farmer's market. You know, so often we see these kind of one-off blooms that nature just made that way. And I love that Ball is working to breed that in a way that we can have for the wedding industry and the event industry. Well, the floral industry in general. You know, I always just think of weddings and parties. All right, let's go. I feel really good about this opening shape. I definitely need some lower blooms in here. It breaks my heart to cut. Yeah, give me that.
These little offshoots are so cute.
Oh, you mean the ones I said haven't been invited to the party? Well, yep, you just got invited to the party because you're actually perfect. See, sometimes you just got to find your way. So this one here, I'm going to cut down so that I have two pieces. And I'm using all of this stem, which I really, really like, that I get to use the whole piece of the stem. I've always been one for not wanting to waste any part of the flower. So to have this delphinium in this way is really interesting. Now remember, these are not available at your wholesaler currently, but they can be if you want them. Just make sure you let your wholesaler know that you want spray delphinium. If they don't know where to get them, you can let them know that Ball is breeding them, and they can figure it out from there. I am not a flower breeder by any means, but I know some people who know some things. All right. Really, really liking this opening shape. If you can see, I've added some of these lower layers in here, so when you look through, you get to see this really beautiful. Jordan, are you having fun? You've got your intense, like, I'm working hard look.
They're just so pretty. I'm trying not to like break any of them as I just pull this out.
It's okay.
Save it.
He's invited to the party. All right, so now I've got the mohawk going one direction. I've got a few flyaways here, but for the most part, we have this one mohawk over the cross of the top. And now I'm gonna go another direction. I'm gonna come straight down, crisscrossing on this design. Oh, they're so pretty. So I have this little song that I sang pretty consistently when we were filming the big flower fight. So we were on camera for hours and hours, and it's hard to remember to smile when you're working. So if you ask any of the cast members what I sang, they will probably sing you a little melody. And it is, Jordan, you want to sing it?
No, I don't.
She does it. It is, smile while you work. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm way off key there, but I'm always off key.
You're a florist, not a singer. It's okay.
All right, so I've added my layer on that side, and then you can see here I've got one bloom, but I'm gonna add another one over here. And the airiness is definitely intentional. I know I keep saying that over and over again, and I really want to be clear that it's intentional, because this airy lightness has definitely been the way that the trend has gone within the floral world. I think once this spray Delphinium hits the market, between the color and this brilliant blue, this true blue color, and the fact that it's got this airy waviness to it, I think this is going to go wild when it hits the market. All right, we have got to the point where I filled in really well. I started with that mohawk, I crossed the mohawk, and then I just filled in the spaces. And I'm gonna give this a turn. I want you to see how much movement, how much air there is in this piece. This is the intention with this design. It is organic, it is natural, and all you're gonna do, if you can see, when you design this, if you can see some of the foam in the bottom, you can put sheet moss down there, you can put reindeer moss in there. Sometimes I'll even take some of, if there's some shattered petals, and I'll put some petals down by where the foam is. Other than that, this piece is done. But of course, it's always room for a couple more flowers. So I'm gonna tuck in just a couple more blooms, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Oh, now where do I put them? So right here, this one has just these wispy buds in here. I'm gonna pop this one right in the middle just to give it a little more fullness. I'm gonna pop this one right down here. There's a little bit of a gap here, so you can see this is a shorter stem. I'm just gonna tuck it right in. And these go in so super easy. Let's see, one more. But this one is a whole stem. And I'm looking over in this area, and if you can look through, it may be hard to see, but right about here, I have a little bit of a patch. So I'm just gonna pop this in, and I'm gonna make sure these stems go down as far as I can. Because these really do love hydration, I wanna make sure that they're going down as far into the foam as they can go comfortably without smushing or breaking that stem. All right, let's get two more in there. Bring this one right over here. And then my last one, I'm gonna keep this one as tall as I can. I'm gonna only cut a very, very small piece, and this is gonna go right in the tippity top, like a cherry on my flower sundae. There we have it. Oh, it is so, so beautiful. I am obsessed with these sprays. Remember, they're not on the market yet. If you want them, they're being bred by Ball, and you need to call your wholesaler and say, I saw these spray Delphinium and I have to have them. I want these every week. So Ball, if you're listening right now, I think I need a standing order of just having these in my life. These spray Delphinium are called Sunshine, and they are just spectacular. Sunshine Delphinium. Who knew that you could have spray Delphinium this beautiful? I want all the sunshine I can get all the time.